Uh-oh. What is that? One last curl. One last curl.
You're hilarious. Look at that. I love it. The arm exercises and the hair curling at the desk.
That's right. Everything. Everything.
Fabulous, fabulous.
And my Dia de los Muertes jewelry. Kind of.
Beautiful.
Let's see.
It isn't, but it's kind
That's
of.
very cool. Well, you guys, I realized last night that I should have gone as Harry Potter.
Oh.
Like if I had, I was like, I have a new costume. So minor, so, but I was laughing so hard. I was like, that would, yeah, I should have. Poppy has little round black glasses. I think I might do a little post on it. It's so funny. Make
That's
it work.
hilarious.
Roll with the punches. Good to see you, Melissa.
You guys too.
Oh my God.
How are you both doing this morning?
Great.
I'm actually doing great today.
Excellent.
Yesterday, a little tired. Great today, catching up, getting the energy going.
Yep. Awesome. Yeah. Yesterday was kind of my catch up day. And then today I've got client bookings, etc. after this. So.
Okay, gals. So I'm going to let Heather McBurney in. So Jill, I'm going to make you the co-host so you can start admitting people, and I'm going to go get us set up to go live on all the pages. Okay.
Perfect.
Sounds good. I realized we never talked about the offer in Mexico. We said we would. So I was just going to offer 20% off.
Whatever you want. You can
Yeah.
offer whatever you want. You can talk about whatever you want. You can, whatever you want.
And Melissa,
yeah.
you just send me the link at the end and I'll email it to everybody who attended. So we'll do a follow-up to everybody who registered for this. So mention it, post it, and then we'll do a follow-up with the link.
So what I'll do is if they book a discovery call with me by the end of November, then I'll offer them 20% off any breakthrough that they decide to move forward with using these NLP techniques.
Perfect.
So I'm going to admit her, you guys talk, and I'm going to go get all that set up in the background. I'm going to actually go off video for a minute.
Perfect.
Okay. Sounds good.
So as Heather connects to audio. So Melissa, how are you doing? So tell me again, how long were you away from home overall with your recent travels?
11 days. So I left on October 19th and got home on the 30th. And then I said to I didn't even see my husband when I got home because I got home so late. I saw him yesterday morning.
Yeah.
And I said, it's always such a time warp when I travel, because now that I'm seeing you, it feels like just yesterday you drove me and dropped me down at North Vancouver so I could go to the airport. And here I am home again.
It is. And do you have one or do you have more than one kitty?
I have 2 cats.
How did they miss you? Do they pout or do they get all lovey when you get home?
They just come and lie in my office because they're so happy that there's another body home to feed them, and they might get extra meals and things like that. So yesterday they were with me all day, and I said to my husband, did they sleep in my office the whole time I was away? And he's like, nope, not once.
That is so funny.
And
No,
one
they
of them
really-
snores really loudly. And a lady said to me yesterday that I was talking to, do you have a dog? And I'm like, nope, a cat that's snoring really loudly right now.
That is hilarious. So Heather, hello, can you hear us?
Yes,
I hope you can. It looks like now she's off mic. I just wanted to hear where Heather is coming to us from.
Mm-hmm.
And welcome. And here we have some other Kathy's coming in. Gonna have some more. Did you see I also made sure to invite all our retreat friends, Melissa, to make sure they knew?
Awesome. Thank you so much.
No, I put that in the link. I said, hey, if you're not aware, you can get some more goodness today. Hi, Kathy.
Hi, Jill.
How are you?
Good. Welcome back from your trip.
I know Melissa was with me too. So we're both, she might have gotten a tan. I stay out of the sun, but you got to the beach a couple times, didn't you?
I got to the beach once just for a few minutes. I'm so fair. I deliberately didn't get a tan. I was being very careful not to get burnt. I got a little bit of color on my shoulders from my one little 10-minute visit to play in the water at the beach.
And we both wore hats.
Yeah, I enjoyed the pool though, in and out of the pool to stay cool.
Hello, Pam. How are you? Good to see you.
I'm good. Good to see you guys too. Couldn't miss this today.
Excellent. Glad
Nice
you're
to see
on.
you, Pam.
Good to see you guys too.
And I know Dawn was taking care of getting us live on Facebook, and it looks like we're up and we're recording, we're live. And I know she's gonna pop. Oh, there's Sheree. Look, people are popping on, and also other people are watching out on Facebook, so you never know the full range. I usually try and monitor our Facebook attendees without having the audio start reverberating. That's the trick. That is the trick I don't always follow. Let's see. Yep, I see us live, which is awesome. Let's see, Kathy, Tree. Hello, Miss Bowers.
Hello, how are you?
I am well. I am well. Did everybody survive Halloween? We don't get any trick-or-treaters here, which is sad.
We
Well,
didn't have any last night either, and it was the first time we've never had any.
So my neighborhood is too far out. Like everybody's on 3 acres and the driveways are super long. So nobody,
Right.
everybody who has kids here leave for a bigger, more house to house to house, or one of the newer places, town, hometown, you know, because you want to get the candy, man. You have 2 hours, boom, boom, boom. And here we don't. But sadly and healthily, Melissa will appreciate this, I did not buy any candy this year at all. Sometimes I buy it and leave it at the end of the driveway and then bring it in, because I'll be like, take as much as you want. It's still there in the morning. So I did not do that this year, even though I do love Reese's and the Reese's pumpkins. That's my favorite. So, you know, we all have our excuses. Well, it's Halloween, it's Halloween. I will say, Dawn, are you back with us?
In 1 minute, I just need to broadcast into the other,
No worries, no
into
worries.
another group.
I'm gonna go on another health tangent. So in Puerto Vallarta, we went to the OXXO store, which is like, I guess, the 7-Eleven. And we were going to get ice. Honestly, we were going to get ice. And we got there and they had the candy set up at the, you know, just like every 7-Eleven would. Their Snickers bars, let me find it. I wish I'd gotten one. Their Snicker bars were like a fourth of our Snickers bars. All their candy is their packs of M&Ms. And I was like, we are so fatty. Like, we are just so overindulgent. Like, you see our portions, which have grown considerably. You look at everything we do, but the candy was just, oh, wow, right? Just insane. And I was like, yeah, that's probably all I need in a Snickers. I do like it frozen. But it was like, you know, it just, there's all these wake up calls you get, right? When you travel to other countries, Melissa, and you eat cleaner food. I had a friend who went to Italy on a trip and said, I thought I'd gained so much weight because I ate bread, I ate pasta, I drank wine, all these things outside of my normal diet. And she said, I came home a little leaner. And she said, I think it's because there's not all that junk in the food. It's real food. And just hearing that is just, that's what Melissa's about. So I thought that was very appropriate, bring up the candy and the food overseas, and how sadly in America, where we have so much wealth and so much ability beyond those other countries to make things nicer and cleaner and in every way, we're not doing it. Not doing it.
Not doing it. Yep,
There's a lot of money behind being unhealthy in this country, right, Melissa?
there is way too much. It's too much of a motivating factor, unfortunately.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, I am here and we are getting started, and I am so excited to bring Melissa to speak with you. We who were in Puerto Vallarta recently at our International Business Mastermind Retreat, which I just want to say, because there's 2 of our women who were with me, that it was an honor and a privilege to be there with you. I've been thinking a lot about it. I'm so grateful for so many things that happened, but truly it was an honor and a privilege to spend that time with you. And we got a lot of shit done, didn't we, ladies? And had some fun along the way. We got a lot done and had fun at the same time. And so keep your eye out for other retreats that might be happening in the future. And we have a lot happening at Hey Taxi right now, like a lot. We have our Entrepreneurs Toolkit for Success book, which is going to be, and Kathy Klebe is one of our contributing authors. So I'm really excited for her to share her story and her products and services for female entrepreneurs so they can grow their businesses. So that's coming up, and there's going to be a summit for that in January where we're going to have all the authors and interviews with all the authors that will actually then be posted on our website. So we're really, really excited about the book that's coming up. We're excited that our retreat, I'm happy to be home. I was happy to be there, and I'm really happy to be home. And I know Tony's happy to have me home too. We also have coming up Texas and Tequila. So for those of you who have never attended Texas and Tequila focuses on educating you about what you should be putting in the proverbial shoebox. So even though you have a CPA, even though you have somebody that does your books, even though you have all those things, you need to be educated about what qualifies, what you should be putting in that shoebox in order to maximize the benefit that we all have, smart women that we are, of owning our own business. And smart women don't leave money on the table. So that's what Texas and Tequila does. It teaches you not to leave money on the table and what kinds of things, like, for example, check this one out. Had you, Sherry and Melissa, chosen to take a cruise to Puerto Vallarta as your means of transportation to get there, you could have written off the entire cruise. Like, how many people knew that? You can actually write off a cruise if your end destination is a business conference or a business meeting. Like, there's crazy things like that. And we actually had an enrolled agent, was one of our gals that came to the retreat with us and taught us about some advanced tax strategies too that were mind-blowing for a lot of people. So there's a lot to it. Just because you have a CPA, I had one. I'm not going to go into the story. I left over $100,000 on the table because he didn't tell me things that I should have been doing. So that's what we do at Texas and Tequila. We have the book, and we have our peer advisory board. I'll let Jill talk just a little bit about that. And we also have our Entrepreneurs Business School that is launching in just a few days, right, Jill? On the 5th.
Yes, it's enrollment's opening. Enrollment is opening on, oh my goodness, it's November 5th. Today's the 1st, right? I've been away a week. I don't know what's going on, and I'm aging rapidly.
Maybe when you do the follow-up email for those that register, Jill, you could share a little bit more about that. For those of you who are watching, Jill, maybe you could put it in the comments of this, and it's and let people know how they can register for TNT, how they can register for the Entrepreneurs Business School, which basically basic idea behind Entrepreneurs Business School quickly is that, you know, there's so many courses out there. There's so many coaching programs out there, you know, 16-week program, I focus on social media, or 16-week program with, you know, weekly calls and, you know, all this that focuses on one thing specifically. So at the Entrepreneurs Business School, you pay your tuition just like you would at any school, and you pick and choose the courses that apply to you and your business, whether you want help with marketing, and then you go to the marketing department and pick, you know, how to do reels or how to put together a speaker one sheet, or how to get on summits, like all those kinds of things. If you want foundational help with your business, how to choose the right accountant, record keeping 101, tax basics 101. So it'll be, and it's on demand. It's designed for you to get in and get out and get the information you need for your business without having to join a big program and go every week. And it's designed to maximize your time, right, Jill? Maximize your time, get the information that you need. There's a lot more to it, but that's just a hint of that. And well, let's get started, because everybody's here to hear about Melissa's magic, not mine. So I am going to introduce Melissa. Melissa is your friendly toxin slayer. What did you used to call yourself, Melissa?
I just went with integrative health practitioner or integrative mind-body health practitioner.
And we decided nobody could really hear that, or it blurred together. And what does that really mean? But when you hear friendly toxin slayer, where's the samurai sword? Melissa.
I haven't done that yet. I only just got home. It's downstairs.
Okay. With
I
her
still have to
samurai
do that
sword,
photo.
She's going to help you. She's going to be the friendly toxin slayer. She helps you create freedom from the chaos of life and life's stressors. She's the catalyst to guiding you through the most toxic parts of your life, not only physical toxins, but also toxic behaviors, toxic food, toxic relationships, toxic thinking that is weighing you down and holding you back from achieving your dreams and stealing your health and longevity. She shows you the way to coming out on the other side stronger, healthier, more connected to your body, emotions, and mind, living in your power, fully living your purpose, living your best life. Melissa is trained as an integrative mind-body health practitioner. She's dedicated to helping her clients discover the root cause of their health issue and truly heal while detoxing their physical, mental, and emotional bodies. Melissa's business is 100% virtual, and she works with the entire English-speaking world, probably the Japanese world too, right, Melissa? If you so choose. This girl is one smart cookie, let me tell you. She also uses the power of functional medicine lab tests mailed to your home while offering a very high level of support to ensure her clients' success as we navigate the path, bringing the physical, mental, and emotional bodies back into balance while creating new life habits to ensure lasting results. Melissa has been named to the 2022 CREA Global Award list and the winner of the Alignable 2022 Local Business Person of the Year Award and the 2021, and I believe, Melissa, since this writing, since you submitted this bio, also the 2022 Quality Care Award from Business from the Heart. She's also the host of the podcast, Don't Wait for Your Wake Up Call. When not serving her clients, Melissa can be found on her paddleboard, backcountry hiking, hanging out with grizzly bears.
Black bears, not grizzlies.
Black bears, hiking and camping with her daughters, downhill or cross-country skiing, or planning her next trip for her Girl Guide unit, or working on her passion project, Girls Matter. Helping keep girls in school in Uganda, breaking the poverty cycle, one girl, one family, one village at a time. And Melissa shared a lot about that with us. And because I didn't realize, I actually asked her what cause was she passionate about. She said, Girls Matter. I said, okay, well, let me contribute. And I did. I didn't realize she started it. And it's an amazing project. Here's what I love about Melissa. Melissa cares. She won the Quality Care Award for a reason. I've worked with her on my health, and I've never met somebody who cares so much, possibly cares about your health even more than you do sometimes, possibly, and follows up, helps you really figure out what's at the root cause of what's happening for you. And what is happening on the screen right now, Jill?
Mary Elaine, I was just texting her. She is screen sharing.
Okay.
Mary Elaine, I don't think you realized that you went to screen share somehow, and you're screen sharing. If you could just.
Okay, perfect. So Melissa cares, and she will dig in and she will stick with you and try this, try that. They're all natural remedies and natural processes that you can use to get your health back. And it's one of the things I love about her the most. What I really love is she has now stepped into this world of accessing your inner magic. So she's bringing to her health practice magic. It's magic. What she's going to tell you about and the things that she can do for you truly are magic. I know a little bit about it, and I'm going to let her tell you a whole lot more. There's some brain hacks, there's some health hacks, there's some things you can do to help yourself that they're happening up here, right? They're brain hacks. And on that note, I am going to let Melissa take it away.
Thank you very, very much. So I just want to clarify the time. We haven't 45 minutes from now, right? Till the top of the hour?
Yep.
Awesome. So I do have a lot to share with you in a small amount of time. I hope you have paper and pen. I know some of you know this already. Cherie, you've heard it. Mary Elaine, you know this. Thank you for being here. And I'm so excited to share with you because what I'm sharing is a little bit of a mindset shift. But first of all, I just want to ask, how many of you find life to be stressful, chaotic, exhausting? Just put your hand up if you notice that in life. And would you rather, two hands there, Pam, yeah. Would you rather to have ease, flow, calm, and more energy? We all would, right? And we can get there, but it takes a complete mindset shift around how we view our health. And a question for you is, did you know that the average North American is spending 10 years at the end of their life in a nursing home? That is not quality life. That is slowly dying. They say we're living longer, but we're not living longer. We're dying slower. Put your hand up if you want that. Is that what you dream about when you dream about your retirement? Or do you dream about quality time with your family, travel, doing the things that you've always wanted to do because now it's your time? That's what you want, right? Put your hand up if that's what you want. And Jari, I know you're helping people build their wealth so they can have that, but what's the point in building your wealth if you don't have your health? The two go hand in hand, right? But here's the reality today is we live in this stressed out world. You all put your hands up. 90% of doctor's visits are due to stress. 60% of all disease is due to stress, right? So what if we could shift all of that? And the body doesn't heal in a stressed out state. So what if we could release all those toxins, the mental, emotional, physical toxins from the body to lower the stress level and help bring ourselves back into this place of optimal health? And we can absolutely do that. We can do that by tapping into the power of our unconscious mind, because with our unconscious mind, we can start to set not just SMART goals, but quantum SMART goals that have us get there that much faster by programming our unconscious mind to go and get those goals. We get to live life fully. And I'm going to share my screen here so you can all see. And so this is me living my life fully, as Dawn mentioned in the intro. I love skiing. I love hiking. I love my paddleboard. I choose to live my life this way, and I get to because I understand my body and mind. I think someone might need to mute. Sounds like a blender going for a smoothie, which I love. We never want to go this alone either, right? We are not supposed to do anything alone. When we have support, we can move further and faster and get what we want. And we need to be stopping dragging around our baggage, our toxins. And unfortunately, that's what is creating so much of the chronic illness in our world today. So I'm the toxin slayer. I set my quantum goals. One of those is travel. I want to take my daughters to Antarctica, see the penguins. Our goal is to touch all 7 continents. And so we are making that happen. I have to wait until my youngest daughter's finished university so we can go in November, December, because that's the best time to go. And right now she's doing exams at that time of year. But we've put that goal out there because the universe always has your back. When you put the right message out and you know exactly how to do it, you can make all of these things happen more quickly. And I know it because I've done it. I set quantum goals to, again, receive the Quality Care Award for the 2nd year in a row. I wasn't even at home when I was receiving that award. I was in Florida, but I was envisioning what that experience would be. It was on Zoom, so people from all over the world could attend. And when I walked into my hotel room, I had envisioned my hotel room that I'd never been to before, exactly as it was. And I won that award. I also earned that trip to Florida, a fully paid trip to go and do more training with my mentor, because I envisioned winning in the 100-day challenge and made that happen for myself. And so it's not just about setting SMART goals, it's taking that extra step and getting that support, having the universe at your back, which we all know we can do when we know how. And when we tap into our unconscious mind to make it happen. Sometimes there's parts of you that might be holding you back. One part of you wants to do this and one part of you wants to do that. And we are in this push-pull state and we get stuck. We're not getting all the resources available to us, only the resources that are available to us in the stuck state. But we can bring those parts back together and make them whole again so that all the resources are available to you. How many of you have felt like, I want to do this, but oh, I should do that, or I want to do that, but that's wrong, I need to do that, right? We get into this state of being divided, and when we're divided, we're not living our whole best life, and we're unable to move forward. And so reprogramming our unconscious mind allows us to bring it together and step forward with both feet, and we can find our purpose, find our passion, add in joy, and we can live our best life. And unfortunately, we're just not taught this at school. So I'm going to dive in right now and start teaching you. Whoop, I think I went one too far. There we go. All about your unconscious mind, because this is where you access your inner magic. Now, this is not to scale. I just want to show you that you have the two minds, your conscious mind and your unconscious mind. And your conscious mind is your goal setter. It's your thinking mind. It uses language. It's your sequential left brain. Your unconscious mind is much larger, and it is your goal getter. It feels, it handles learning, it handles behavior change and autonomic function. And between the two is this critical faculty. And that critical faculty is like the gate to the unconscious mind. And when we don't know how to open that gate or lower the gate, so to speak, we just bounce off our unconscious mind and we stay in our conscious mind all the time. So we have to learn how to lower that gate or get around it with these tools to access the unconscious mind. So we have both minds working together. So your unconscious mind stores all of your memories. It organizes all of your memories. It also represses all of your memories with unresolved negative emotions. Those memories we stuff down, emotions we stuff down and don't want to feel. And then it will present to your conscious mind those unresolved negative emotions only when it feels safe to do so, which is why people in war zones, military people in war zones, don't suffer the PTSD in the war zone. They suffer it when they come home, because that's when it's finally safe for the unconscious mind to present these emotions to the conscious mind to resolve and release. Your unconscious mind also preserves your body in spite of your behavior, which I think is really funny, what we were talking about earlier, Jill. You know, the food that we're eating, etc., and the choices that we're making. In spite of our behavior, our unconscious mind is trying to preserve our body. But is preserving your body lying in a nursing home bed for 10 years? Is that what you want for your life? Absolutely not, right? I see you shaking your heads there. So think about this. Your unconscious mind is literally keeping you breathing, your heart pumping, digesting your meals, and trillions of other chemical reactions going on inside your body to help you do everything that you need to do in a day. And you don't give it a moment's thought, do you? Nope. It's also filing every single experience you've ever had and storing it without judgment, so it's there for you to access again should you need to. Super cool. So do you think your unconscious mind might need a little pat on the back and a little bit more recognition for all that it's doing for you every single hour of every single day? But here's the other thing. We can outgrow those stored files and get to a point where they no longer serve us. In fact, they hold us back from getting what we want, because a lot of the foundation of what's in our unconscious mind happened in our 0 to 6 years of life. So we need to update it. When was the last time you all updated your phone? Put your hand up if you've updated your phone in the last 6 months. And I don't mean buy a new phone. I mean just do the update that's pushed through, right? We've all done that. But when was the last time you updated your unconscious mind? Probably never, because you didn't know you could. This is what we need to be doing in order to access our inner magic. So with NLP, neuro-linguistic programming, we are literally removing this critical faculty so that both our minds can work as one. Then we get to play more, have more fun, and stop rejecting the unconscious mind. We need free communication between both halves of our mind so that you can go out and get that goal. So you are more than just your unconscious and conscious mind. You are actually 3 minds and 4 bodies. So the 4 bodies are your spiritual, mental, emotional, and physical bodies. Physical is below the line because any symptom that you have in your physical body that's indicating some kind of imbalance in your health, maybe it's feeling aches and pains, and you say that's just because I'm getting older, and you do nothing. Maybe it's allergies, whatever it is. Maybe it is a diagnosis of a chronic illness. By the time it shows up in the physical body, it's already moved through the spiritual, the mental, and the emotional bodies. And so that's why it's so important that we don't just detox the physical body. We need to go up and detox the mental, the emotional, and the spiritual bodies as well, to ensure that we've got good health happening in all of our bodies. Now, we've got three minds: our higher self, our conscious self, and our unconscious self. The higher self communicates to our unconscious self, which communicates to the conscious self. Our higher self speaks to our spiritual body. Our conscious self speaks to our mental body because it's the thinking part of our brain. Our unconscious self speaks to the emotional body because it's the feeling part of our brain. So I show you that just so that you see the importance of understanding that you have three minds and four bodies. And just because we can't see it doesn't mean that it's not part of who we are, and we need to take care of all of this. So I love this image because it shows the better scale of our conscious mind versus our unconscious mind. Our unconscious mind is 90% of our mind, and it is doing so much for us. And our conscious mind is only 10%, and yet that's where most of us spend most of our time, right? But when we master our unconscious mind, we can get so much more out of life. We get a stress-free mind, a disease-free body, confidence, motivation, a definite and bright future because we set that goal, we know what we want, and we can go get it. And it's our unconscious mind that's going and getting it for us. It's the goal getter, remember? We have success in whatever we do, a money mindset to boost our income, and great relationships. So think about that for a minute. What is it that you would like? Just the top three from that list, write them down. What would you like to be able to achieve? And not achieve over the next 5 or 10 years, but achieve imminently, because we set quantum goals and we make it happen. I'll just leave that slide there for a couple seconds while I have a drink so you can write down your top three. So this is my favorite slide because you are literally creating your own reality every single day. And if you don't like your reality, we can change it for you. So what's happening in our brain is, first of all, we are receiving 12 million bits per second of information into our brain. And that's way too much for our brain to be able to process. And so it deletes and distorts and generalizes it down to a manageable amount, which is only 128 to 134 bits per second. And it does this through our filters. And our filters are individual to each and every single one of us. And our filters grow and change and develop as we go through life. So our filters are things like time, space, energy, and matter, language, our memories, our decisions, our values and our beliefs, our attitudes, as well as our meta programs, such as, are you an introvert or an extrovert? Are you a thinker or a feeler? Do you move away from or toward? Are you a judger or a perceiver? So what happens is, as you go through life, your mind is creating like a movie screen in your head of everything in your life, right? If you close your eyes for a minute and you just go back to the last vacation you took, you can see yourself there. It might be a ski vacation, it might be a beach vacation, but you can see yourself there. That's the movie screen in your head. And this is called your internal representation. And that dictates your state or how you feel. If you're going back to your last vacation, you're probably feeling pretty happy right now with those memories that are popping up, right? And then that also dictates your physiology, because your state, if you're feeling sad all the time, depressed all the time, that can actually start to weaken your immune system, and it changes your physiology. Your state also dictates your behavior. Because if you're feeling tired and exhausted, you have different behavior than if you're feeling happy and excited. Is all of this making sense to everyone? Awesome. I love geeking out on this stuff. And as an example, 3 little girls are walking down a path in a park. And they see a snake slither across the path in front of them. And one girl just sees the snake, screams, and runs away. The next girl sees the snake and gets down on her hands and knees and very gently picks it up and then moves it over onto the grass so it's off the path and it doesn't get stepped on. And the third girl kind of looks at the snake and does nothing. They all created their own reality because a snake slithered across their path. The same exact thing happened for all 3 girls. And yet, if they were to go and tell that story to their parents, the stories they would tell would be very different, because one girl has learned to be afraid of snakes. So her filters told her to run away and get to safety. Another girl has learned to love all creatures and care for them. And so she picked it up and moved it into the grass. And the third girl hadn't actually had any experience with snakes yet, so she didn't know how to respond. But watching the response of the other 2 girls is going to impact her filters for next time as to how she responds, because her brain is going to store this experience and this memory. So this is why, at least in Canada, for automobile accidents, they no longer use eyewitnesses, because you can have 3 people see the exact same accident and tell 3 completely different stories, because those stories have all gone through their filters, which are different for each and every single one of us. So it's kind of an interesting concept, because until I learned this, I kind of went through life thinking, well, my reality is the same as everyone else's reality. It's absolutely not. Your reality is literally your reality. And if you don't like it, we can change it. And we can use these NLP techniques, timeline therapy, hypnotherapy, to shift your state as a result of your internal representation. It will shift physiology. We can shift behavior. We start to shift some of those filters. So really powerful. So all learning, all behavior, and all change is unconscious. And in building a successful business, we need to understand this, because we can tap into this to really exponentially grow that business. Our unconscious mind allows us to enjoy new learning that is resulting in new behaviors that triggers the transformation that you're looking for. And your business will only grow as far as you are willing to grow yourself. If you want your business to blast off, you need to do the same. And here's the path for that. We start out in a place of unconscious incompetence. At this stage, you don't know what you don't know. And you may be loving life, but you're at a dependent stage because you need help to get to the next level. And to move to the next level, you literally have to break out of that box. And how do you do that? You're asking someone for help. You never get there alone. But in asking for help, you get to the conscious incompetence stage. So now you know, you're starting to figure out where the gaps are. I call it the oh fuck stage, because it's like, whoa, I need to learn all of this to get to that next level. How do I do that? And again, we're asking for help. And this is a codependent stage, because you're working with others that have already walked this path to get you to close those gaps. And that allows you to bust out of that box and move into the conscious competence stage. Now you know exactly what you need to be doing. You know how to do it. You're now just practicing and implementing. So this is a very independent stage where you are installing all of this into your business, into your life. And then from there, as you bust out of that and you've mastered it to the point where you can do it with your eyes closed, your hands tied behind your back, now you're in the unconscious competence stage where you can literally do this in your sleep. Now, this is your superpower, and it's an interdependent stage, because this is where you bring that superpower to the group and you work with others as you build an incredible group around you each of you working in your area of superpower to grow your business and the businesses of the people around you. Again, we're never doing this alone. So as you bust through each level, it might take more energy to get to each level, but it can be dramatic. But as you practice it, it becomes less dramatic because you are becoming more neutral in your personal growth. You also can be in all 4 stages at all times in your life because you're always learning. You've mastered this and now you're over here learning this, right? So you're in all 4 stages at any given time. And this is how you build neurology. And really the only failure to learn is the failure to learn. So another example of this comes to your health. Your health is a journey. And with your health, you have a problem. And you have awareness of that problem. You need new skills to overcome that problem. You practice those skills, and then you have solution. The problem is with our health is so many people stop at the awareness of the problem stage and they write it off. It's aging, it's allergies, it's my genetics, and they don't do anything about it. And they stay stuck there versus looking for the help, getting the new skills that they need, filling that gap to resolve their problem, whether it's sleep issues, whether it's stress issues, whatever it is, chronic illness. How can I resolve this instead of accepting that I'm going to have this for the rest of my life? You learn how to do that. You practice new skills, you implement them, and then you have solution, which is coming back into a beautiful place of optimal health, balanced health. Again, we never do it alone. We surrender into being guided in our growth, whether it's in a business, whether it's in our health journey, so we can achieve so much more. So up-leveling you. How do we do that? Where does it start? Well, as I mentioned earlier, our beliefs are very often formed in the first 6 years of our life. We learn them from our parents, but also develop beliefs as we try to make sense of the world as little people. And then these beliefs lead to the thoughts that we have running around in our head. And those thoughts lead to the language that comes out of our mouth or even our written language. The language then leads to our actions, and the actions lead to our results. So we are creating our reality with our thoughts and our language, because these are giving our unconscious mind instructions. So what are you saying to yourself internally or out loud? Do you talk to yourself the way you talk to someone you love? Do you talk to yourself in a way that will have you achieving your dreams? So often we don't. And if you aren't getting the results that you want, it means that your actions are off, which means your language and your thoughts are off because your beliefs are outdated. And this is where that update is so critical for us to be able to exponentially move forward. So a quick partial fix is a little trick called cancel, cancel, cancel. It just starts to create the awareness that whenever you hear something come out of your mouth or start to create awareness around those voices in your head, you say cancel, cancel, cancel. Because if that voice in your head just told you, you can't do that, you're not good enough, whatever, not, attractive enough, not smart enough, whatever all of those things are, cancel, cancel, cancel. Because that is not the programming we want to imprint in our unconscious mind. We cancel it, we switch it around. It takes practice because very often we're not aware of those voices in our head. We're having 70,000 thoughts a day. Are we aware of all of them? We're not. But when we start to create the awareness around this, we can start to change it. As humans, we always hear we've got 2 ears and 1 mouth. Therefore, we should listen more and speak less. But I like to flip that on its head when it comes to the voices in our head, that we need to speak more and listen less, as in speak back to those voices, because those voices are always trying to pull us back into our comfort zone, keep us safe, talk us down, right? Don't listen. Stop listening. Start talking back and saying, no, I've got this. And I'm working with my unconscious mind. I'm working with my mentor. I'm moving forward. I can do this. And that then changes the actions and the results that we get. So, what is your commitment to the success of your business? There is no commitment unless we have committed through money, time, energy, and a legally binding contract. Commitment illustrates intention to the universe, and only then can it act. The universe will give you the resources needed only after the unconscious commitment has been made. So, what are you unconsciously committing to? And do you have to stop committing to everything? So many of us are saying yes to others all the time, which actually means we're saying no to ourselves because there's not enough space in our life to have both. And we need to flip that on its head and start saying no to others in order to create the space in our lives for ourselves, because it's only when we create that space that the universe can give us what we want. And so for moms, especially, or any women building their own business, this is such an important lesson because we have big hearts. We want to help others. But when we get to a place where we're helping others at the expense of ourselves, we're not moving anything forward. And that's when we get stressed out. That's when we get bogged down. And that's when our health starts to slide. So boundary setting is something that many of us have never been taught and we don't do well. But it's something that is absolutely critical to creating that space, that Zen space that you see in this image on the slide, right? So how do we do that in a really positive, supportive way, looking after ourselves, but also working with those in our lives? So boundaries need to be set in the following situations: when you are feeling taken advantage of, when you are feeling drained of energy and overwhelm, when there is drama in your life. And if you are feeling anger and resentment, it often means you've broken your own boundaries. So you're kind of angry at yourself, although you tend to project that on the other person. So there's 3 steps to setting a really good boundary. The first one is actually somebody's going to ask something of you, your time, your money, or your energy. And instead of saying yes right away, you can simply say, "Thanks for asking. Let me get back to you." That just right there creates space for you to figure out if this is something that you want to do or not. And then, so that's step 2 now, is going internal. Do I have it to give? Time, money, or energy? And if yes, then do I want to give it? My time, my money, or my energy? Just because you have it doesn't mean you want to give it, right? And then third is, if I want to give it, under what conditions? So if you were being asked to babysit, for instance, grandchildren, nieces, nephews, the condition might be that they're already fed and in their pajamas by the time you show up. Or the condition might be, yeah, I'm happy to babysit, but you need to be home by 11 because I have an early start the next day, right? For me, it was with my kids and the car. We've got 4 drivers in the house and 2 cars. So yes, you can use my car, but it needs to come back clean, no garbage, none of your friends' garbage, no empty Starbucks cups, Tim Hortons cups, whatever. And it needs to have gas in it. You can't bring it home empty. So the next time I get in the car, the first thing I have to do is go to the gas station. So those are the conditions. Step 3 is to reply with your yes or no. And if you're saying yes, provide the conditions. And if you're saying no, remember that no is a complete sentence. You don't have to justify it. You can simply say no. And I know that was an aha for me when I first heard that, but it's powerful, right? And this isn't easy to do. The first time I said no, I had my brain working against me and I had the other person looking at me like I'd just grown 8 heads because I had never said no to her before. And she didn't know who I was all of a sudden. But I knew I needed to start practicing this for myself. And so I said no. And then my brain's like, she then says, well, who am I going to ask? I'm like, I'm sorry, I don't know, but I can't do this. Meanwhile, my brain's going, oh, come on, you could do this with your eyes closed, your hands tied behind your back. Remember that unconscious competence? But I had to start saying no to make time for me and the other things I wanted to do in my calendar. So I had to, even though my brain was like, you could do it, you know, it was wanting me to say yes, because that was my habit. That was my comfort zone. That's where it knew it could keep me safe. I had to stick with the no. And I felt guilty. I felt awful, but I also was really proud of myself for saying no when I walked away from that conversation. And that was my first no, which meant the second no was a little bit easier. And the third no got easier because it does take practice. So an agreement frame that you can use when setting boundaries, that is a very kind way to do it, is simply, I love and appreciate X, whatever they asked you of. And I need Y. That would be the condition, right? And we say the and, not but, I need Y, because the but cancels out everything that came before it. So for my kids, I love and appreciate that you have a job and have the independence to drive to and from your job without me having to drive you there and take time out of my day to do that. And I need you to keep the car clean and keep it fueled. So for people that haven't experienced you setting a boundary with them before, they're going to look at you like you have 8 heads, like what happened to me that time, right? And so this is a really gentle and kind way to do it, where they don't necessarily even realize what's happening because you're saying it in such a positive way. So I love and appreciate X, and I need Y. So requirements for change so that we can step into our power using our unconscious mind. Step 1 is getting rid of limiting beliefs. Those beliefs that are, creating our thoughts, creating our language, creating our actions, and then our results. We need to get rid of them. When we do that, we start to change our filters, which changes your internal representation of how you create your own reality. And we want to get rid of our negative emotions that are stuck in the cells of our body and over time become toxic and can cause disease. They are also another filter through which you create your own reality. So releasing those negative emotions is a form of detox. And changing your language is the mental detox that frees up your energy and directs your unconscious mind to go and get what you want in business and in life. And this is why I call myself a toxin slayer, because I'm looking at all of the bodies here. Step 2 is taking action, enforcing those boundaries, which is creating space in your life and sourcing. And what I mean by sourcing is sourcing your energy. You never let your cell phone die, or you don't like to let it die. It happens, I know, but you're always plugging it in when that battery level's getting low, right? What are we doing for our own body when our energy levels are waning? How do we regain our energy? And for each of us, that's different. What is it for you? It's self-care in some way. And I have a mantra that I created, and it is simply, self-care is the most selfless act, because it allows you to show up and give the world the best of you instead of what's left of you. None of us can build our business from what's left of us, right? We want to give the world the best of us. So that means we have to look after ourselves first. What gives you energy? Is it going for a walk in the sun? Is it doing a yoga class? Is it a workout? Is it calling a friend and having, a deep conversation? Is it getting in the bath and reading a book? For all of us, it's different. Is it meditation? Is it listening to binaural beats, et cetera, et cetera? But make sure you're building that into your time in your day so you don't end up like a dead cell phone. And then step 3, focus on what you want. So often when you ask someone what they want, they'll tell you what they don't want. What is it that you want? And these thoughts then become suggestions to your unconscious mind. And we all know that what we focus on expands. And we know that our unconscious mind is our goal getter. So when we tell it what it wants, it can help us go get it. If it doesn't know what we want, it's not helping us go get it. So the fastest way to up level is to use the most powerful mind-body medicine tools available to us today. They're fast, they are effective, and they are magic. And that's using, went too far, NLP, timeline therapy, hypnotherapy, and NLP results coaching. So next steps, go back to those 3 things that you wrote down earlier. What is it that you most want in your life? And how do you tap into your unconscious mind to help you get them? How are you going to achieve them? What are your next steps? Think about that. Do you know how to do this? Or do you need to seek support and have someone guide you? Hold your hand up as you bring the people you work with you. We all learn together. We all rise together. And what are you saying to yourself? Say it in a way that you want it and only focus on what you want. Don't look at the, start using cancel, cancel, cancel every time you hear the negative come out. So I'm just going to finish there because I'm very conscious of the time here, and I really appreciate all of this time to share with you. This work is absolutely powerful. I've taken people from, literally being addicted to certain foods, it's triggering them and they can't stop eating it when they start it, to in just a 1 hour session, we switch it so their unconscious mind doesn't even like it. In fact, it makes them feel nauseous to think about that food. For myself, I bit my nails my entire life. I used one of these techniques in a very short amount of time to literally switch up in my unconscious mind the action that I was taking that was leading to the nail biting, and we changed it up so the nail biting doesn't happen anymore. So very, very powerful tools. And I would love to offer any of you here 20% off any of the work that I do if you book a call with me by the end of November, in order to just do a discovery call. Let's see where you're at, what you'd like to achieve, and how I can best serve you in getting there by accessing your inner magic, flipping the switch and making it happen just like that. So I don't know if anyone has any questions, and Dawn, I know you wanted some time to wrap up.
Well, first of all, thank you for opening our eyes to a new way of doing things, potentially. Can you give us some other examples of those, of the magic, right? Of what those, I call them brain hacks. I don't know if that makes sense to people. When you call it a brain hack, it's like a shortcut. It's like she said, like Reese's Pieces are my kryptonite, right?
Right.
They're my, like, I can eat a whole bag, and I'm not talking about the little bag or even the share bag. I can eat a whole bag of Reese's Pieces. Well, what if I didn't like Reese's Pieces anymore? What if I worked with Melissa and she was able to train me not to like Reese's Pieces, or whatever it is, whatever your thing is, sweets or bagels, or, whatever that thing is. Or maybe it's a habit that you want to get rid of, or maybe it's, I think you have some other processes for helping people get out of an anxious state or an irritated state, for example, like with anchoring, right? That's one of the things that you do.
Yes.
What are some other examples of the magic, of the things that you can do just with the NLP? And then maybe you could also explain what timeline therapy is, and then let's open it up for questions.
Sure. So yes, with NLP, you mentioned anchoring. Something that we can do is take you from procrastination to motivation in a very short amount of time by tapping into the emotions. And what I love about this is it's not just that. Somebody who likes making sales calls here. That's your thing. You love making sales calls. Yay, Lil. Okay, but I don't see anyone else raising their hand. So we can switch you from disliking sales calls and being in avoidance of making sales calls to loving making sales calls, right? So we can use this in our personal life around food and changing what we're eating into getting motivated in our business. We can take you from feeling blah to stepping into your power state so that you are so motivated, so full of strength that you can do anything, and that you can then go back and do that every single time. We can, with timeline therapy, we are actually moving along the timeline of your entire life, and everybody's timeline might be slightly different. We find where your timeline is and we take you back to those 0 to 6 years, or however far back your unconscious mind wants to take you, to release the negative emotions that are still stored in the cells in your body. We're releasing anger and fear and shame and guilt and sadness and hurt. And we can also release limiting beliefs. Those beliefs that came up when you were 0 to 6 years old that kept you safe then, but are holding you back now. And then we can imprint positive beliefs after we've removed the limiting ones. We can set those quantum SMART goals to have you achieve what it is that you want. We can address anxiety by showing anxiety is worrying about the future. Depression is worrying about the past. You can't change the past and the future hasn't happened yet. And so often we're worrying about things that may not even happen. But we can take you past that point in the future that you're worrying about to show your brain that you're alive, you're safe, it's okay. And then bring you back so that we can release the anxiety because you know you made it through that event. And that's the tool that people that suffer with anxiety, they can then be taught in order to do that for themselves. And then with hypnotherapy, we can change all sorts of behaviors from, different addictions and things to whatever it is that whatever behavioral change somebody wants to implement. But the hypnotherapy is so much more effective when we've first done the timeline therapy and got rid of all those negative beliefs and the negative emotions. So it's all very, very powerful work, and it happens quickly. And that's what people want. People don't want to go to a therapist for years and years and years of training or talk therapy, etc., and being triggered by the trauma of whatever it is that's carrying inside their body. We're not triggering the trauma here. We're going back in our timeline to see what happened, and we get the learning from it. What did your unconscious mind need to know and bring forth to the conscious mind? And once we have that learning, we can release the emotions that are tied to it, and once and for all, and move forward. Does that all make sense?
Yeah, sign me up for the love to love sales call. Sign me up for that like right now. That would be awesome. Or I'll just hang out with Lil more because she seems to have the magic. So does anybody have any questions about what Melissa does or how it works or how to get a hold of her or what happens in the discovery call, anything? Now's your chance.
I just want to say I'm sorry. I just dropped in to say hi, Melissa. I missed your presentation and I still love you.
Hi, Lil. Well, good for you. It's recorded. You can catch it. You can go back and catch it.
It's recorded and it's live on the Hey Taxi business page and also live in our community. So if you, most of you have been here since the beginning, but if you had to tag out for a little bit, you can go back and watch the bits that you missed right in the community itself. Excuse me.
So yeah, I would just invite you all to just from this, think about what are the results that you want? Are you getting the results that you want? Are you doing the actions that you need to do in order to get those results? And if not, if there's a break somewhere on that path, then book that discovery call with me and let's, see what it is that you want, what you're doing right now, so I can figure out what's the best tool to use in order to help you shift what's the block in your unconscious mind in order to truly get what you want.
Excellent. And we are at the top of the hour exactly. That was perfect, Melissa. You got a lot, you fit a lot in a short amount of time. Thank you.
I know I was talking fast because I love to share this and I just want people to know that it's available.
I love it too. I love NLP. This is not voodoo. It's the real deal. It's just working with what's in your unconscious mind and freeing you from what's holding you back from living your best life across the board, right?
Exactly. And who doesn't want to live their best life? And who wants to pay $1.4 million in the last 10 years of their life just for room and board in the nursing home?
Nope.
Nobody, right?
Yes.
So we look after all 4 of our bodies now. We don't ever have to go there. So the amount that I charge for my work is pittance compared to the $1.4 million.
And Melissa, which of us thinks, oh, I want to retire and have 20 years left in a hospital bed? No, you always think of your retirement as cruising, traveling, spending time with your great grandchildren. Like, we always have these images, and to make that a reality, you have to have your health.
Yep. You absolutely do. So just that is a mindset shift. And how many people, as soon as their car engine light comes on, gotta go get my car fixed, make sure my car's running. We go to the gas station, we put the right fuel in the car to make the car run well, right? And even if we think we don't have the money to do whatever service we need to do on the car, we get it done because we need the car, right? And our house, we vacuum, we take out the garbage, that's detoxing the house. We renovate, we fix things. We do all of these things. And we forget about our body, which is truly our greatest asset alongside our house and our car. And here's the ironic thing. You could buy a new car if you had to. You could buy a new house if you had to. You don't get to buy a new body.
That's right. That's right.
Our engine light are the symptoms.
I think
And we
Elon
need-
Musk is working on the new thing though. Probably within our lifetime, we could just buy a whole new us. Might be a yucky us though, but Elon's working on it. And I won't tell you how long my check engine light's been on, so I will shut up now. It's an old car. I don't know. The girlfriend has a good car. Okay, I'll stop.
Well, maybe consider booking a discovery call with Melissa Lill. I can tell you that, and we will close out with this because this is not what she talked about today, but Melissa actually has an amazing detox program that she runs. And I know she's gearing up for those of us who like to wait until the first of the year, right, Melissa?
That's
we like
right.
to wait until the first of the year to handle we like to go all out. We like to enjoy our holidays. I'll deal with that. That'll be my New Year's resolution. Yeah. Two months later, right? She has an amazing detox program that not only helps you lose weight. That's not actually the focus of it, right, Melissa? It's more a focus of detoxing your liver, detoxing your organs. And I've done it. It's incredible. I found it to be really easy. And I love the, those of you who know me know I do Isogenics. I love my Isogenic shakes, but I also really loved trying Melissa's shakes and trying this detox program because it was a little bit different and I like to try new things. And you learn a lot along the way with everything that Melissa provides. So that's just another thing. That's just another little hat that she wears, and it's very effective.
Thank you. And yes, it's the starting point for detoxing. And I love to guide people through because we all come in a different state of health. And when I guide people through, again, it's that helping you get to the end and showing you the way, allowing you to relax into being guided. And that's where the body can heal.
That's incredible. Thank you so much for this. And I'm like, wow, what did you say? And what did you say? And wait a minute, what did you say? Writing down pages of notes. I'm like, this is amazing. The other thing that I used to do all the time is your cookware. Do you ever think about that? I use surgical stainless steel, and there's a reason, because there's no toxics crap going in your food. Just saying.
It's true.
Yep.
It's true. I see the lab test results from people in their heavy metal toxins from using aluminum cookware, among other things. So very true. And so we just need to learn.
We can talk for a whole other hour about
Yes.
that, right? About menopause, about all the symptoms of menopause, alleviating that, detoxing for so many things, inflammation, and right, a whole other hour. We could do that.
It could be, but thank you so much for the opportunity to share this information here, and would love to chat with all of you. Book in. If you book in by the end of the month, then 20% off. And I'd love to just see where you're at and how I can be of service to you.
What do you have to lose? What do you have to lose to book a call with Melissa? Nothing.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Thanks, everybody. Thanks for popping on. It was good to see everybody.
Have a great rest of your day. Thank you.